Welcome to the Student Experience podcast. Today we are joined by myself, the host, Ryan O'Callaghan. I'm the Study Abroad Officer here at TBS. I'm also joined by two guests today. I'm joined by our VP for Student Life, Nathan Bell.
Hi, how are you? Good to be back again.
Thanks for coming on. And also we have Abbie Duffy, who's our Communications Officer and also a part-time Student Experience Officer.
Hi everybody.
Thank you for coming on as well. So as I said, I'm going to be the host for today's episode. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to be talking about throughout the episode. Obviously, we are in orientation week now as we are discussing this, and we're basically going to highlight next week, which is Freshers Week, which is what everyone is hopefully looking forward to here on campus. We're also going to touch on some trending topics, best clubs and societies to join, because that's going to be very topical for next week, and some Dublin do's and don'ts, okay? But before we get into all of that, I'm just going to catch up with the guys. So, Nathan, how are you? What have you been getting up to?
Yeah, not too bad. This time of year is always the busy period for me. Trying to balance sport and college and work is quite difficult. A lot going on this week in terms of events. Students are just back in, so we've been hosting a lot. We did the networking night on Tuesday. That was great crack. The lads seem to get heavily involved in that. It's always fun to watch that out of context, because to watch 80 people to 100 people try to have a conversation at one time, it's just mad looking. Yeah. It's such a weird situation. These events are always full of such fun moments and always good crack to go to, so I really enjoyed the networking night. We have the welcome party tonight, which is a big one.
Very big.
300 people going to Dame Lane. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
DBS parties are always good fun. The DJ looks quite good as well. We know we've booked a decent DJ. And this is probably, I think, the first time we've all been in Dame Lane since they've reopened. Yeah,
new ownership. So that's going to be pretty exciting. That's actually the reason I'm starting late today. Normally I'm in at 9 to 5, but I started late today to help out because it's such a big event, like 300 people, isn't it?
Yeah, massive event.
That's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, Dame Lane have just redone it, so I'm looking forward. I haven't actually seen the venue yet. I know you guys have.
Yeah, I went to it. It's actually, because we used to always go there like last year and stuff like that. But there's new ownership. It's kind of the same guys who own Bad Bob's, if anyone has been there. Bad Bob's is another really good spot, and it's actually the venue for one of the parties in Freshers Week, I believe. But the new area, the new setup is just amazing, so I'm really, really looking forward to tonight. Abbie, what have you been up to? What have you been getting up to this week?
Same, kind of getting events done. I've been going to all the events this week. I went to the Coffee and Crack on Monday, and then obviously you were saying I've started working here as well, so I'm trying to balance working and SU stuff and getting everything done and all that, so busy.
And how are the people? Coffee and Crack, it's the one day I wasn't in this week. Monday, how's Coffee and Crack?
They love it. They love Coffee and Crack. They love free tea, coffee and all the biscuits and all the fun. It was good. Yeah, there was a lot of people there. It was like the summer ones, but crazier.
Okay, and we have another one of them tomorrow as well, because as I said, this is Thursday at the time of recording, and we do have it again Friday, and we do have them next week, so that's us pretty all caught up. I'm actually quite running on empty, if I'm being honest. I'm on day 11 of 12 in a row. I was travelling last weekend with some of our American students from Elon and Marist. We went to the west of Ireland. On Friday we went to do some tree planting. We went up to Galway, stayed overnight, went to Aran Islands. That was really, really fun. I've been there loads of times already, but just seeing the students really happy and getting to see proper kind of rural Irish culture is really, really nice. And then on Sunday we left Galway and went to the Cliffs of the Moher and then back up to Dublin. So jam-packed weekend for me and some of the American students who I have actually seen have signed up for the event tonight, which is really, really nice to see. Obviously DBS being very international, it's nice to kind of get people from all strands of life coming in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight to see all the new faces. So we've kind of touched on a few things of what's been going on this week. If you were to pick one thing so far that's just kind of been the standout moments, it's Thursday. I know we haven't had the event, but what's the standout moment? It doesn't necessarily have to be an event. Or
well, the welcome party hasn't happened yet. The networking night was full of good laughs. But my favourite moment this week was we did an SU takeover on the Wednesday.
Oh yeah. So
there was free ice cream, free pizza, lots of games, merch given away, good bit of crack in the common room for an hour and a half. But one of the challenges in the common room was to do volleys.
And the keep ups, football.
Yeah, it was, I think it was Shakur's run that event, and they had to get more volleys than Shakur could do, whatever. And I'm quite competitive, so I was hosting them around watching it, and this lad done 250 volleys in the common room.
That is crazy.
Now, to do 250 volleys alone is impressive, but to do 250 volleys in a common room when people are like, when it's packed, like in the middle of a crowd,
couldn't move at all.
literally, like you're on like a less than a meter radius, like around you. You've no space at all. People are walking through the balls, and 250 volleys back to back.
That's crazy.
I had to drop my mic and challenge him. I couldn't get to it though. I got to 150. I couldn't get near him.
That's great. In fairness, like, 250 is impressive, and for anyone who was at that yesterday, the takeover was very, very good. Very warm, crowded, yes, but the space to do 250, no, to do 20 is good enough in there, the space you had, but yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. 250. It's so good in the fact that we've added it to the football group chat.
Yeah, immediately the next day we went, oh, that's the volley man, get him involved immediately.
So we're going to test his skills to see if he just belongs to FIFA Street style or will he actually be on the addition to the 11. Abbie, what was your kind of standout moment this week? It doesn't have to be an event, it could be maybe seeing people, chatting to people on campus, whatever it was.
I quite like the networking night. The speed friending is always fun to watch. I think I did speed friending as like a participant last time, and it's quite fun to do as well. But it was fun to watch the people, because they were like, some people just didn't want to move from the person they were in front of at like multiple stages. They were like, I'm not moving, and they were made move. So
and you said like that was you last year. It's like, obviously you're only a second year student. That was you last year, first year. Like, you didn't have, not saying you didn't have many friends, but that was your opportunity to meet new people. What was it like this time around in comparison? Because you kind of said like, oh, it's funny seeing people that are like, they didn't want to move from a certain area. Like, that was you last year. Like, you know, you wanted to stay in the few people you did know. What was it like this time around seeing people like that? Did you want to like encourage them? Did you do anything to kind of get them to move or anything like that?
All the SU were kind of encouraging them to like continue to move.
I was hosting. There was one bloke. He came to like a stretch of girls, and every single one of them, like, he just wouldn't move. I was like, so next move left, and he was like, yeah, just one second. And he's trying to get Instagram, he's trying to get everything from them. I was like, no, you need to move, like you're holding up the whole queue. And I was like, and then the next time he would do the exact same thing with the next girl. I was like, oh mate, I was like, you need to move. You're messing with me now. He's like,
you gotta love him. He's there to network.
Yeah,
he's absolutely doing. You didn't specify how he could network.
He's absolutely doing his job.
Dropping free game.
No problem with it at all. But it's just holding up 75 people behind him trying to move to the left.
It was actually funny when you talk about like out of context. Obviously, I was working and I left, and I came back to get my bag a couple hours later, and I just walked in, and I kind of half forgot that what the event was, and I just saw like it was like 80 or 100 people just sitting in the common room, like nearly shouting at each other, looking face to face, like, what is going on here? I was like, oh yeah, the event was on. But it was just so, like out of context for all our like part-time students that are in the evening. I saw some of them kind of double like glancing back into the room, like, what is going on in here? Like, everyone's just talking to each other, laughing, joking, messing. It just looks so out of context.
Such a funny visual when you see it.
It is actually so funny.
We have a good video of it, and it literally looks like you don't know what. Like, if we didn't know it was networking, you wouldn't have a clue what was going on.
That's crazy. No, they are good nights though. Obviously for new students, it's a big first week for them. Obviously some guys might have even only started class on the Tuesday. I know throughout the week there was starts on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that could have very literally been their first day on campus, and they're there chatting to people that they've never met before from Germany or France or somewhere in South America or somewhere else. Like, they literally just sat down, and obviously it's a big thing, but I hope everyone that went had a good time.
But I spoke. There was a good mix in there. I spoke to a few students. There was a girl who was in her third year who was actually in my business course my first year, but she moved, so she changed courses, so she wasn't in my thing anymore. But it was her final year now, so that was like the first event she'd actually gone to.
That's crazy.
In her third year, and I was like, what the heck? And she was like, yeah, I remember you, because I always see her pictures around. I was like, oh, he was in my class or whatever. And then I seen this one lad from Sweden who was like, he came just by himself. It was his first day, like his first week in college. He came just by himself, and I was like, oh, that's really nice, because I think that's the right way to do it. Like, that's where you're gonna pick up friends. If you come in a comfort zone with a lot of people, like, it can be easy just to like not get involved. And he made a bunch of friends by the end of the night. He'd end up going out with a bunch of German lads and girls after, so obviously his plan had worked.
Yeah, very brave as well.
Very nice lad as well. He honestly get along with a wall. He would.
I wonder if he going to the event tonight. No, it's nice. It's nice to see people do that. And again, it is for people who are listening, first years, or people that are new to the college. If you're doing MBAs, MSCs, semester students, whatever it is, get involved. Like, just take that little leap, that little step, because the SU guys are obviously here to help you. And obviously, we're going to discuss some of the events that are happening next week of how you can get involved. Moving on to some of the other things that are going on recently, more kind of global stuff outside DBS that have kind of been interesting. I'll kind of come to sports first, I think. Obviously, a very big time for sports. I know we have Abbie, who is a big F1 fan. Myself and Nathan probably watch any sport in the world, but we're big kind of football or soccer people. I like rugby as well, so there's a lot going on at the moment. I might bring Abbie in first. I saw something on the F1 recently. Max Verstappen didn't win for once, which is actually pretty crazy.
Boo. Yeah, he didn't win. It was quite a sad day. Sad day for the parish, honestly. Yeah, the car's just not where it needs to be.
Is that just like an excuse?
No, the suspension on the car was bad going into the turn, so they were slower. Both Red Bulls were down, so.
But like, this is what I don't understand about F1, right? Apart from going around in circles for 50 laps, like, how cool is that? But the cars, why do they change it if it's working? Like, they've literally been winning every single race, getting 1 or 2 finishes. Why did they change the suspension?
They didn't change the suspension. It depends on the track. The elevation of the track is different. The temperature is different on each circuit, so it depends on. It does vary from circuit to circuit what you do with your car.
That is crazy. Like, imagine when you think about it, like say going to football, you're like, yeah, like the grass temperature today is like 26.2 degrees. I need.
But it's really important, though.
Oh, it'd be like getting the Irish in Dubai, they'd melt.
But it's really important, though.
But like, that's people, not cars. Like,
yeah, that's true.
But it's the tires. The tire, like if it's hotter and like the ground is hotter, the tires will like dead quicker.
Have they not planned for this?
Yeah, they
like,
do.
Surely they know. Like,
that's the thing is, so they probably
country.
did tweak the suspension, but it just didn't work, and it was slower going into the corners. They had to take the corners slower, very slightly, like a hairline slower, but it just wasn't there. And the Ferrari was, and Carlos Sainz did extremely well. He even slowed down.
Wow.
He slowed down for Lando Norris behind him, so that Lando could catch up and get a DRS train, and then would go faster.
I'm gonna try on the spot. F1 crush, who was it?
Oh, Daniel Ricciardo.
Really?
Yeah.
What about Lando?
No.
No? Okay. I don't know enough about F1 personally, but I just knew it was big that Red Bull didn't win. Max Verstappen. Like, I knew that was massive that he didn't win.
He was on a record there for a while. It was like 12 wins in a row or something like that.
He's like the new Lewis Hamilton.
As he should be.
But
better.
Not as likeable.
But better.
No.
A better driver.
No, he's not. He literally, his first championship has an asterisk beside him.
It doesn't have an asterisk beside it. It doesn't. Not
So,
in the FIA, it doesn't.
Moving away onto real sports now. I just had to include you somehow. No, I'm joking. Obviously, the World Cup. The Rugby World Cup has been going on in France for the last couple of weeks. Obviously, Ireland being world number ones going into it. There was a lot of expectation for all you guys that maybe have come from international backgrounds, coming to DBS. You'll have seen that we've been putting stuff on the Instagram. You've probably gone out in Dublin or around the country somewhere, and you've seen loads of different kind of sports bars that are promoting the events, green everywhere, cheering on the boys in green over in France. Ireland are 2-0 so far. They've won their first 2 games. The first one was the weekend before last, where we played Romania, and I think it was like 84 point difference or 82 point difference. Like, it was crazy. We scored like 80. We got 84 points, I think, to Romania's 6.
Crazy.
Like, that is outrageous.
That is domination. But for the first 2 games, I'm not a big rugby fan, but I do know enough to know that the first games are kind of gimmies for Ireland. They shouldn't be even getting tested in those type of games.
No, they really shouldn't. Like,
so we'll see what happens when it kind of heats up.
It's going to heat up this Saturday. Like, I know at time of recording, as I said, it's Thursday. In 2 days from now, it's going to be Ireland's biggest test. They're playing against South Africa, which is, I think they're world number 3 or 4, something like that. But they are in men's team. Like, they just beat Romania 78-0. So, like, they are crazily good as well. And that's going to be on at 8 o'clock this Saturday. I'm really looking forward to it. Because I think if we win this, it looks good for us top in the group. We've got bonus points. And it's a really tough path in. I know me and Nathan had fun on the first night of the World Cup. Probably the biggest game of the tournament, New Zealand-France. We won a bit of money, didn't we? Yeah,
it was actually Abbie's birthday, and we were kind of ignoring the whole thing. So Abbie had her birthday. It was on the Friday. And France were playing
New Zealand.
And when we got in, France had been down a try.
Yeah.
And we looked at them and went, you know what, we're not really gamblers around, but we can feel a little France come back here. And we put a bit of money on France to come back. And for the next hour or so, we were just fully ignoring Abbie's birthday drinks and her friends and everyone, and just screaming at the telly.
Yeah, well, like we do appreciate Abbie inviting us to her birthday, but like there was bigger pressing things at the time, like Alley Le Bleu and all that. And then finally on the football front, or on the sport front, should I say, is the football, the Champions League. So that started again this week on Tuesday. Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday. And there was massive games, obviously. Man United are back in the Champions League. Arsenal are back in the Champions League for the first time in like 2.5.
Newcastle are in the Champions League, which is crazy.
Newcastle, first time since 2002. I think it was 20 years or something. That's the first time they've been in it. And some mad teams. You're a United fan. They played last night against Bayern Munich 4-3.
I was actually trying, so I didn't catch the game. I had to watch the highlights on the way home. Yeah, a bit of a weird one. United's gone through a weird phase right now. They just can't seem to buy a game against anybody. Keeper let them down. But to be fair to Bayern, I know it was 4-3 in the end, but they did deserve to win the game. There's no real doubt. I watched they hit the post about 4 times or something. Yeah,
I don't think, like, for someone, like, I did watch a bit of the game. If you didn't see the game, 4-3 looks like, oh, that could have been a close game. It wasn't. Like, it wasn't a close game. Like, Bayern really should have ran away with that a lot more. Arsenal ran away with their game against PSV 4-0. They were scoring goals for
I actually didn't see how Newcastle got on. How'd they do?
Newcastle drew 0-0.
Against who?
AC Milan. That was on Tuesday night, I believe. I keep forgetting though, because they actually do early kickoffs in the Champions League now, the last 2 seasons. So I was like, oh, I'll go watch the game at 8 o'clock. I checked the score. It was like the 70th minute. I was like, oh, that would have been nice to watch, but okay. And I'm a Liverpool fan, so into the Europa League this season.
Yeah, tonight's your night.
Yeah, the fact that I can watch Liverpool on a Thursday night is quite depressing. We've literally been in 3 Champions League finals in the last 5 years, and now we're in the Europa League. But I think it was all planned. I think it was a big Klopp thing, because the Europa League final, guess where it is this year, Abbie?
I have absolutely no
Dublin.
idea.
Well done.
Wow.
It's in the Aviva. So when Liverpool goes to the final, I am going. I've already been to a Europa League final. The last time it was in Dublin in 2010, 2011, when Porto were playing Braga and Porto won. Mourinho's the manager.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's the last time it was here in the Aviva. I was at it. And best believe if Liverpool are going, I'm going. I will pay. I will do what you did for Taylor Swift tickets, Abbie. I will be queuing for days. I will pay above the odds. I will do girl math. Whatever I'm doing to get these tickets, I'm getting them.
If you buy the tickets a year in advance, then the whole thing is free. Girl math.
Okay. I don't know how that works, but yeah, okay.
Girl math, that's how it works.
But a lot of sports things going on at the moment, for like sports for everyone. We will touch on some clubs and societies later, which will hopefully link this in for you guys to be excited about. Some other things going on at the moment. We have a couple of things here, but I want to skip to the last one we kind of talked about. This Roman Empire thing. What is going on? Like, I first heard about this genuinely last week, and someone in the office said it to me. They're like, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And then, Abbie, you literally said to me, like, the day after, it's like, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? Like, what?
Men are not normal. Men are weird. Y'all are weird.
I've never thought about the Roman Empire.
Good.
Ever.
Always think about the other time.
In what context?
Just like they built pads and all, so you look like sometimes I'll just see around and you'll be like, they built that. But no, it's very rare. It'd be like once or twice a year.
No,
but
people.
Like, do you go into like, I don't know, like, do you go into Fallon and Burn and like see strawberries and go, do you know what? Some farmer planted them.
No, every time I see an Italian, I just go Rome. Like, I just think Roman Empire for some reason. And then whenever I hear like certain words that I know relate to different language, I think Roman Empire.
That's crazy. I literally. Adam, our manager, you probably all will see.
He hasn't stopped thinking about the Roman Empire. Oh my god.
That's because he was recently in Rome. And if anyone gets talking to him and Rome or Italy or pizza is mentioned,
leave immediately.
Yeah, because he will go on as if he's like the god of Italy or something. But he literally started talking about the Roman Empire and was like, I don't know how this is a thing. It's a trend on TikTok. I'm seeing it everywhere. Like, all girls are asked, like, they're either brothers, their dads, their boyfriends, their best friends, whatever it is. They're like, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
It's apparently an extremely green flag. The more they think about it, the more green flag it is. I don't really get that. I think it's strange. I asked my dad, and I was like, because I was like, he'll be honest. I was like, he will genuinely be like, yeah. And he was like, every month. And I was like, no, you don't. And he was like, they built the roads. I was like, okay, like what?
So if they built the roads, why are we still paying toll taxes then? Do you know what I mean? I just don't get it. I've seen some trends on TikTok and all, but that has to be up there with some of the worst ideas I've ever heard.
Yeah. But it is weird that people do think about it still. Like, cause I don't think about it, but I know it's in there sometimes. It definitely does roll around occasionally.
That actually baffles me. Genuinely baffles me. I've never thought of
But now the thing is, what's the female version of the Roman Empire? What do girls think about all the time? And I keep seeing it on TikTok, and everyone has like different opinions, like the Titanic, like ancient Egypt, like stuff like that. But I don't think there's anything that I don't think there's anything that comes into my head.
I don't think I ever
that
consistently
much.
think about something.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think there's anything that comes into my head that often.
I like am very spontaneous as a person, but I do like planning and structure. But at the same time, I'm not gonna have the same thought over and over again, or like deep something like the Roman Empire, or what was Cleopatra doing back in the day, or
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that I think about like on a monthly basis or like a weekly basis.
anything else that you think
No,
of.
none that I can think of. But I'm quite like empty and then full of things, and then empty and then full of things in my brain.
Yeah, I think that's how men operate. Like,
I'm trying to
we
think.
get, like,
I'm
we
trying to
get-
think of something that I would think of all the time. Now, give me a second.
Like I know. Well, you think I know men like tend to do the thing like we have like bursts of like every thought is amazing and you want to get it on paper and you do it, and then someone's like, oh, what were you talking about earlier? And you could literally be like a balloon just full of air. Like you
Yeah.
have nothing to contribute to anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of girls would do like star signs, stuff like that, or like crystals and stuff.
Give me a
That would
break,
be a
man.
lot of girls' ones. But like, I suppose
Star
like
signs are just very generic phrases, and then someone just goes, "Oh, do you know what, that is a bit of me," and you're like, "Yeah, it's a bit of everyone me."
Did you ever see NLE with Kai and they're like on a stream? Like Kai's and that, they're on a stream, and a girl literally, it links into what you're saying, Abbie, was talking about star signs. And she's like, oh, I know my star signs, I know all three of my signs. And he just jumps in and he's like, I'm a road sign, stop.
Yeah.
And the girl's like, oh, leave us alone. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
It's just like, that's literally my thought when I hear him. Oh my god, you're a Taurus. I'm like, oh my god, that literally has nothing to do with what I am.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what any of the other star signs mean. I know I'm a Virgo, and I know Virgos are like stubborn and organised. That's the only two I ever remember.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm
like,
like, Slay,
just
that's
such a
me.
generic thing.
it says
I'm
I'm
like,
stubborn
Slay,
as well,
that's
and I'm
me.
aggressive and hot-headed, but I'm determined. Like, great.
That
So
just-
does that mean
it just
Slay,
feels-
does that
me.
mean if I was that
It
and I was
just
born in
says-
April or something that I wouldn't be a Taurus?
It just says generic things that feed into your ego and make you think, make you like yourself.
yeah, that's about me.
That's all it is.
But like, did you ever do the what's that test called? The 16 personalities.
Yeah,
It's
unfortunately.
very similar.
No, yeah, it's a bit more like constructive.
Like, there's only 16 of those. There's 12 star signs, so it's really not that.
Do you know they were talking about bringing in the 13th star sign?
Yeah, they tried to before, and
That
it
was-
and it changed mine. And I was like, if we're going by this, I'm not going by this because I'm a Virgo. I'm not changing. I have Virgo necklaces. I have Virgo bracelets. I'm a Virgo. Don't try and change it now.
Yeah, okay.
I have
that's
21
enough.
years worth of Virgo merch. I'm not changing now.
Okay, moving swiftly on for that, and then let's transition into Taylor Swift.
Swiftly, huh?
What?
That was
It's
my
crazy.
transition, wasn't it? Into music. Obviously, music again has been a very popular thing. We obviously are having a big event tonight where we're getting DJs in. There's always music playing in the common room. I know people are always excited about things. Taylor Swift was probably one of the recent things that a lot of people here and the world are excited about. Her massive tour that she's doing. What's the name of her tour? Do you know?
The Eras tour. Do I
The
know?
Who tour?
Do I know? Did you say?
Yeah, but like,
Of course I know.
what's it called?
The Eras tour.
Eras tour.
Yeah, because she sings from all of her different eras of her life. She
Just-
plays for 4 hours, lads. Like, come on.
4 hours.
4
But I will
hours.
say,
41 songs.
big NFL fan. Travis Kelce is a big NFL person, so I can't
He's
watch him.
obsessed
I
with
listen to him a
her.
lot, and he said like he went to a, or who else? It was someone else as well said they went to it, just going like they went with their girlfriend or whatever.
They're the brothers, no? Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just went to it like, with their girlfriend, not expect anything, and it goes literally best concert of their life.
Favourite Taylor Swift song?
The one.
Give us a rendition. Go.
No, absolutely not. What do you think I am? Absolutely not.
Go on.
You have
No.
no chance to get Abbie the singer.
No way.
Right,
Absolutely no way.
Well, that's a massive tour. I know there's another.
Speaking of
few-
people singing, Nathan hit a really good note in a song the other day. Do you want to give us a rendition of that one,
I
Nathan?
actually can't do it.
Me and him were singing it earlier as well. And he goes, oh, that was
No,
kinda
no.
good. And I was like,
No,
it wasn't.
no. This was
Listen, ladies and
good.
gentlemen, right? I was walking through Temple Bar, just walking home. I was cool. I was just walking back, and I just hit a note out of nowhere. I just like sometimes I just sing songs out loud, and try to hit notes that I definitely can't hit. And I just hit this note out of nowhere. The first time I've ever hit a note in my whole entire life, and everyone just went, "Oh, what's that about?" I wanted to know. I didn't know I could do that. And then I tried to do it again and just couldn't. I was like, "No."
That's the thing. Like,
It was my one
It
moment.
was an accidental hit, but you hit it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then tried for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
17
It's my-
times later, he
It's
tried
my
again.
one wish to be able to sing. I'd love to be
I
able to
would
sing.
love
I'd like to be able to sing.
because
I would like
like,
to be able to
like,
sing.
really good taste in music, and I have such a.
No, you don't.
I do. You literally listen to Taylor Swift.
You don't
on
listen to
repeat.
Taylor. Actually, you like Willow.
Yeah,
You
it's the
like
only
Willow.
song.
Still,
Anyway.
you like it.
I have like a very good music taste, and it's verified by many people.
Meow, meow, meow.
Anyway, I'd love to be able to sing.
Same.
I love David
Do you
singing.
know who surprised me actually? You know, we did the scavenger hunt last week, and we had to get someone to sing, and Katie Brady has a pair of pipes on her.
Kate Brady's a really
I
good
did
singer.
not know that girl could sing.
Katie Brady tells you guys all of this all the time.
No,
she always
didn't
says,
tell me she could sing.
I'm in singing
I've only
lessons since
seen
I'm a
Katie, like,
kid.
grab a bottle and lip sync. I've
Katie
never
is
actually seen her.
so good at singing.
I'm not doubting it, but I've
Honestly.
only ever seen her like grab a water bottle or a bottle.
If you ask her, if you talk about singing around her, she'll be like, I was in singing lessons my whole life. She will say that. That's exactly the words out.
And
Oh, we're going to
also,
test it after this.
One of the challenges we had was Katie had to sing with somebody, and she picked a random person. We goes, can anybody else sing? They all went no. Katie goes, well, I'll pick a random person. Pick some random bloke out who also
He
had a
starts
set of-
riffing and all. Like,
also had a set of pipes on. He was a tenor.
yeah, he
was
went,
like, what, man?
that's not in my range. I'm a tenor. And we were like, you said you couldn't sing 5 minutes ago.
The man was a tenor, and I was literally
He was
going,
giving it welly as
What's
well.
the-
when
Going
you,
to
fir-
house
not
this
gonna lie,
happened?
when you first said tenor, I was like, what do you mean he was money?
Yeah. So tenor is like, I'm sure you know what it is. It's someone who does like harmony. They don't really
yeah.
use music. They just use their own voice to make the harmonies.
I wish I could sing
Is
that.
it?
I think so.
Did you just
Don't-
make that up?
That's not musical advice.
It's like
He definitely
It's
just
like
made that
Pitch Perfect, I think.
So
But it's like the
none of us
male.
are.
It's a male version, of it, I think.
Okay.
Oh, that's one of them ones, the Roman Empire. You know, have you ever seen Pitch Perfect?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the end performance where he sings, is it I Got the Magic in Me? You know that song?
I love that song.
That's that performance. That's a girl version of the Roman Empire. I think about that. That pops into my head like on like a weekly basis, just randomly.
Well,
I love that. It's amazing.
songs that probably always come into my head are Drake. Like,
Yeah, big Drake fan.
big Drake fan.
I only know
I'm
his,
actually
like-
annoyed that I like Drake that much.
I only
So
like his
do I.
like big like popular songs.
But like, I think he just hasn't missed in the last little while. Like, I used to be kind of like want to hate him because he shouldn't be as good as he is or as big as he is, but he is. He is him.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, but I'm so devastated that his album's been delayed.
yeah.
Like, he brought out a song with SZA, and like that's only part one of the song, and I was like, oh, I have to wait next week, and then he's like, actually no, I'm delaying until the 6th of October. He's been dropping this since June this year.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit mad that artists can just do that.
Yeah, he's
That's like me and assignments. Nah, do you know what? I'll give it to you next week.
it's not my best work.
Yeah, let me just redo it. I'll give it to you next week.
Like, it just doesn't make sense, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I know there's lots of music buzz around. I know people are trying to buy concert tickets. There's some of the girls were trying to get Olivia Rodrigo tickets yesterday.
Boo, I
She's
didn't get
coming-
them.
You didn't get them?
No,
Did you
I'm
try to
so
get them?
sad. No, but I forgot that they were going on sale and then I didn't get them.
Yeah, like, apparently they sold out mad quick.
Also, speaking of music, me and you are involved in a little project.
You?
So me, Ryan, Shakur and Paddy have been involved in a project with music where we get students or friends of the college in to give like a live performance. We've created our own little Instagram for it and stuff like that, and that gets released next Thursday. We put out a trailer yesterday. Yeah, and it's done quite well so far in terms of views.
Yeah.
It's gotten quite a lot of traction.
Yeah, I'd say good trash camera.
Really good production, probably the best production we've probably done here in terms of college, in terms of students.
Big ups, Paddy.
Yeah,
Big
Paddy, phenomenal
ups,
what
Paddy.
he does. Some good performances that I'm very excited to see people's reactions to.
Yeah, some I'm looking forward to, some not so much anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's all fun. Like, some of them are going to be better than others as always, but there is some in there who are just like,
Some are there, like,
some of them are really
I'm
good.
not looking forward to seeing some. Some songs have now been ruined for me, but because I've listened to them so much. But the production on this is phenomenal. Like, I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope we're going to start recording again soon to drop for next semester. So it's been a massive project, but honestly, I know myself, Nathan, and Shakur were involved, getting people, helping up, setting up. But like, Paddy's production, all is like, he's so
First year,
good
by the
with
way.
it.
Paddy is a first year.
And like, he's going places. Like, his production, his camera quality, all his gear, all his setup.
The audio we're
phenomenal.
using right now, all Paddy.
His professionalism, even though when he's doing it, he wants it so serious. He wants to make sure everything is perfect. Even when we were setting up today again for the podcast, he just wants to say, look, any issues, come to me, blah blah blah. Like, he's so good at what he does. So honestly, big ups to Paddy. And linking kind of Paddy into things, obviously he's a first year. Something that is obviously geared towards first years or new people is Freshers Week. So that's one of the first topics we're going to talk about. That's more DBS orientated, ironically in orientation week right now. But Freshers Week is next week. So Freshers Week, basically for anyone, I'm going to let Nathan do a little bit of talking, as he is our VP for student life this year, as he was last year. But essentially what Freshers Week is to people is a party week. It's a big week of parties, activities, events, party culture in terms of like drinking, stuff like that. But I'll let Nathan kind of discuss some of the things. What's coming up, as I said, he is the VP, so I'll let him maybe run through what's to look forward to.
Yeah, so the first 2 weeks in college are probably the most important. There's orientation week, which is now, and that's kind of localised to certain colleges. So we are doing Dame Lane, that's our big event, that's 300. DCU did the Shelbourne, which is their big event. Freshers Week is all colleges kind of mixed. So that's college week. All the colleges go out together. You see everybody around town. It's actually much bigger than orientation week by far. We have a party on Monday, which is the monochrome party, which is kind of similar to the welcome party, but there's a much better pre-party to it. There's a little bit better of a theme. The theme of monochrome obviously is you wear one colour. So our hope is that we just have a bunch of students in there looking like a rainbow, with rainbow lights, rainbow shots, rainbow. So it's just a big colourful scene. There's 2 hours of that. There's a pre-party which I won't get into what the details of is. It will ruin the fun a little bit. And then we go off to Bad Bob's, which is in Temple Bar. Temple Bar will obviously be full of loads of students. The whole of town will be full of loads of students. So we're trying to find a week to go out. That is probably the best week to go out. The Tuesday, Wednesday then is your Club Societies Day. That's when, if you want to join a club or society, obviously you'll go to the common room and they'll have stands for absolutely everything, whether it be sports, football, cricket, basketball, societies such as course-related things,
law.
Like Ryan just said, law, business, psychology, stuff like that. Some more fun ones like there's go-kart and there's bowling, there's surfing, and some more niche ones like Harry Potter, Dungeons and Dragons ran last year.
That was wild.
Yeah, there's some of them. There's like 40 and they're hoping to get more, so there's so many club societies that you can join. It's the best way to kind of find a group, find friends. I know you don't necessarily care. I know not everybody necessarily cares about fitting in, but it does help you while you're here to find a little group that you can bounce off of. Yeah. So I do suggest going to that. Then the Thursday is bowling. Yeah, bowling. We don't really do bowling like normal people do bowling here. It's always BYOB, and most of the fun of bowling is the journey to and from bowling.
And BYOB doesn't mean bring your own ball, it just means bring your own booze or beers.
Bring your own beer, yeah. So what we would do on the way to bowling is we just have a massive JBL speaker, like massive. You'd break windows with this thing.
It's actually the bane of our existence sometimes. Like, how are we getting?
How are we getting home? It's a nightmare. But basically, you're on a Dublin bus, two floors with this speaker blaring. People are slapping windows. People are getting locked. There's people twerking on the back seats. Like it's nuts in there. It is honestly chaos. It's really good fun though. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday obviously is Bundoran.
That's that like flagship event for semester, for the whole of the semester.
If you're a DBS student, if you've come to DBS, it's probably the first thing you'll ever hear about. It's always Bundoran, always Bundoran, and we do a couple of them, but the first one is the biggest one.
Yeah, we've like 100 and something people lined up to go, sending up 2 full buses for the weekend up to Donegal, which is the very northwest of Ireland. We leave here on the Friday, time to be decided. But as Nathan said, like, it's a full weekend of just activity. It's labelled as a surf trip. I know people
we need the excuse to get up there.
Yeah.
So we label it as a surf trip, but it's genuinely just a weekend. You get a little bit of surfing in the morning.
Yeah.
It's a good little experience, but the whole weekend is spent just going out, eating, drinking, having fun, doing a few games in here, a few quizzes and stuff. But it's mostly all like it's drinking, like having a bit of fun, making friends. Like
big party weekend, like massive party weekend. I know Iona and stuff has some events lined up. There's going to be beach activity as well if the weather's good during the day. I know loads of us love to go down to the beach and even play football, or you play like rounders or like volleyball stuff, like really really good games. You can get into the sea, go surfing, you can do hikes, go for food. There's loads of arcades up there as well, so even if it's raining there's still like activities. I know we love going up trying to beat the basketball high scoring the machines in the arcades.
But once it comes about 7-8 o'clock, everyone's going out together. Like there's hundreds, you're going to the same pub, the same bar, the same everything, and everyone kind of clicks. Yeah,
like there's where we stay, we're right across from a place called the Chasing Bull, and there's always live music. So we get all 100 we all go over, have a good time with the live music, have some drinks. There could be a theme to the night. You have to wear maybe what we call a shit shirt night, or it could be whatever the theme is. I haven't fully looked in with the guys yet what it is, but it's a really really fun weekend. So that is the flagship event for the semester, let alone next week.
And I guarantee as well, every single person who goes up to Bundoran with you, you will see them around college and recognise them immediately. Like you remember every single person you got to Bundoran with. So you don't have 100 new friends, but you have 100 new recognisable faces who you can talk to whenever you want. Yeah. Because everyone knows each other after Bundoran. Yeah. And that's like a big step up from what networking night was. It's a whole weekend, so you're going to be putting rooms with people, sharing with people, new people, and it's a really, really good way, as Nate said, to kind of put names to faces and just see familiar people around the college. Are you both going, Abbie? Are you going? Yeah.
Unsure.
Unsure? And we're telling people to go. Why are you unsure? Get off the fence.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going yet. Undecided. I probably will end up going, but I'm not sure.
What's your reasons for being unsure?
Katie Brady's not going.
Okay.
Abbie's twin isn't going.
She's not my twin. We look nothing alike. But she's my best friend. Katie Brady's not going. Ryan's also not going.
I could be.
You said you're not.
I said I shouldn't.
You said you're not.
Yeah, true. But
mainly Katie Brady's not going.
Looking at, I'm not getting on blast here. I'm putting you on blast. Why aren't you going?
Because Katie Brady's not going.
Okay. So.
Why are you not going?
Because I've actually been working really a lot lately, and like I have class next week as well.
So do we all.
Someone said class.
I have class in the evening times.
But I will say.
Do you know what classes are?
I will say Ryan's been to Bundoran 1,000 times.
Yes.
Abbie is a little ill at the moment. I'll give her that as an excuse. But
I'm not.
Yeah, but like, she's actually like she's curled
I'm
up on a ball
extremely ill.
sometimes. So I'll let them away with it, but usually there would be two people who are quite liable to go up.
So I'm still probably going to go up. Let's be real.
Yeah, Ryan probably will.
The last time I went up was for my birthday, and I came out of hospital 2 days before and I was on antibiotics.
I probably will end up going, honestly. But right now I'm like, oh, Katie's not going. Who am I going to talk to?
That's kind of always what happens. People always say they're not going, then like they see that they get like FOMO before the even FOMO begins, and they always just go.
Yeah, I'm more than likely.
Because if I don't go, I'm blocking everyone's story.
Yeah, immediately.
Like I don't want to see how much fun I miss now.
Yeah,
immediately.
To
be honest. But another thing Nathan kind of touched on as well that's happening next week is the clubs and the Socks Fair. Obviously massive. It's going to be run obviously through Student Life, but also Iona Quinn, who is our Clubs and Societies officer on the Student Experience team. I know she's doing a lot of prep at the moment in terms of getting the 2 days ready. It's a massive 2 days. It used to be 1 day. We've rolled over 2 days now last year and this year. Basically the common room is going to be taken over by Clubs and Societies leaders. So there's going to be stalls of as kind of all the clubs and societies that Nathan listed. It could be sports, it could be educational based ones, it could be other interesting hobby ones, but all the society leaders are going to be there, so you get to go up, the leaders get to tell you all about what's happening, you get to see other people's interests, you can sign up, there's no limit to what you can sign up to. Also, if you want to run something and you want to run a club or run a society, you can talk to Iona and say, look, I'm really interested in setting something up, can I run with it? Iona will be able to talk to you, try and work stuff out, have meetings with you and see if it's something that's viable. The guards are being obnoxious in the background here with their siren, but I'll let it run past. But yeah, that's something to really look forward to next week, next Tuesday and Wednesday, so please do come in. It's from 11 till 3 Tuesday and Wednesday, so the 26th and 27th. I know Nathan's probably going to be there at the stall from a football. Yeah,
I was just about to plug myself. I do football, so I probably will be there both days, or one of the football lads will be there both days. But there's also football trials next week. So the football team is always the first club and society back because their season starts so quickly.
I just got the fixtures today, by the way.
Yeah, we got the fixtures today, so we know when all the games are. But they're always the first club or society back because they have to start really quickly. If you are interested in playing football, we have a very competitive team here. We've won a trophy every single year we've played. Me and Ryan, I think.
Yeah.
We have a highly successful team. We have a lot. It's a mixed bag. You get a high quality and some like people you just fit into places.
Yeah.
But every college is the same across the country. Everyone has the high quality and the people that are fitting in.
But everyone gets the respect.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everyone gets the respect. Like you come down, like we always have people that come into train, and people have to work hard. It's like any other club. Like when you play back at home, no one's turned away. We're not going to say no to people. We want people active. We want people involved. We want people to come in and work hard. And people, what we found ourselves last year is there's people who maybe get a bit lackadaisical with things and assume that they're getting in somewhere just because they might be maybe naturally better than someone. But if we see people that are coming week in, week out, trying their hardest, putting in a shift, they're getting in ahead of the people that maybe think that they're going to run the show. So your commitment levels, your efforts 100% are noticed, and you don't go under the radar.
You always prefer to have people who work then, because hard work does win games. No matter what, how good you are, it kind of does depend on your attitude and how you execute. So it really doesn't matter how good you are. If your attitude is good, then you'll always be kept around. Last year we had something like 120 trialists.
Yeah.
A lot.
Massive group chat as well. For the football, which is good crack. Obviously there is a lot more than that. Abbie, you were involved in the Law Society last year. You're also going to be involved in the Law Society this year. I believe you're going in as vice president.
I am
right?
indeed. Yeah.
And who's the president going to be?
Katie Brady.
Brilliant. So they're obviously both on the SU, but they're also law students themselves. Again, for the likes of the Law Society, the reason I kind of joked about it earlier as well is I'm a law graduate. I was the president of it 2 years ago now, I think it was. So it's something that people can get involved even that aren't in law, but there's debate nights. Abbie, there's the debate night last year, wasn't there?
There was a very fun debate night last year, and we have another couple of debate nights planned as well for this year. So.
And would you say to people like come along even if you're not law?
Oh, definitely. I'd say most of the people that were there at the last one weren't law students, and they were all a bit apprehensive at first, but they all were like, "That was amazing. That was so fun."
And do you remember what you talked about?
Oh, we did. I think one of them was religion. About religion, it was like religion has no place in the modern world or something like that. There was a lot of opinions about that one. Katie had 2 other good ones for that one. That was a good one. People did really enjoy it though. Good. Alex Mooney definitely took the cake with that one though. He was really good.
I've not been to a law sock debate, but I have been to an afro sock debate. Do you remember that last year?
That was so funny. It wasn't a debate, it was a fake trial.
Oh, it was a fake trial.
Yeah.
It was so funny though.
Like, again, I talk about like the legal side of things. Like, the guys forgot that I had like a law degree. I was like, yeah, I'll come in and do this, no problem. And then they realised, like, wait, hang on, actually, no, you can't be on the defence. You're not allowed to say things. It's like, fine. But it was actually very funny. And I think the law sock as well this year should probably do a big one in the common room that's like real kind of. Yeah, that would be.
I think we want to do a mock trial this year as well.
Yeah, that'd be really, really cool.
Should do a collab with the afro sock.
Absolutely not.
We're naming.
Absolutely not.
No, I think it could be funny.
Yeah, it would be so funny.
Absolutely not.
But obviously we're talking a lot about clubs and societies, which is really good because it's such a good way for people to meet, mingle and do things that they enjoy outside of college time. But we've obviously talked about different clubs and societies. I want to hear your top 3 clubs and societies and tell me why, and I'll start ladies first. Nathan, no joke, Abbie.
I'm only involved in law sock, so that's obviously number 1.
Is that your
I
reason
feel like you should take away bias and you're not allowed to do your own.
No, I'm doing my own one. Law sock is the best. Join law sock.
Okay.
I mean, the business sock is always really good. They always have really good events and stuff like that. And then I quite liked last year. Is it the Sustainability Society?
Yeah.
They were quite good last year. Their event was fun. I went to one of their quizzes. I think it was. That was quite fun last year, and they did well. So they won the same award that the law sock won at the awards last year. No, we didn't win Instagram. It was most improved. Yeah.
Which is crazy, but anyway.
No, it wasn't crazy.
It was crazy because the year before was me, where we got the Supreme Court judge.
I was going to say, I actually don't think it's where most improved.
It's not. Wasn't. But surely it couldn't be most improved from the year before. It's most improved throughout.
That's exactly what it is.
Would it not be most improved throughout the year?
No.
That doesn't make sense, though.
We wanted to get you
if that was the case, then people would just not do anything until the end of the year.
Literally.
No, but who wants to be most improved? You want to be best. You want to be the best society.
Well, you weren't.
I'm aware. We were most improved.
I'll give you the actual answer because Abbie's just biased. I'll take football over. Football is the biggest club, but I'll take football over. The basketball lads are quite good.
Yeah.
In terms of sports, they get a good turnout as well. They have scholarship students as well. They're quite talented. They're former national champions not too long ago, so they are quite good to watch. Business, Abbie mentioned, they are quite good. They're always on it. They always kind of have good turnout. There's always lectures involved. There's always a big appetite there for the business society. So they do quite well every year. Basketball, business, and what would be the third one for me?
You kind of
music. I love music society.
That's what to say.
Music society is so much fun. Me, Shakur, and Ryan, Chris, we used to just go down there because we just love the people. Yep. We used to go down there all the time and not sing, not that. Just
I used to get on the bike and do karaoke. I have so many videos of me.
We used to just sit there and judge them actually. But like they are all like our friends, so we just like mess around with them.
Yeah. And actually, even one of the guys who's actually going to be the president this year, Ben dropped a song again on Spotify yesterday.
Great song.
I actually was messaging him again last night. I was like, it's so good. It's like a lo-fi. He won't let me saying this, I suppose, because we're giving him a bit of promotion. Ben Hers is his handle on Spotify, and his YouTube videos up as well about it. But it's more of like a lo-fi kind of beat kind of song. You'd agree with that, probably, wouldn't you? Lo-fi. But it's really, really, really good. And that's the talent to give people that are getting like 20, 30, 40k plus streams on Spotify in this like small college essentially. But this is all stemming from their interests, and then this is the same people that are working behind the scenes as well, that are producing some of the other projects that we have from like music backgrounds. So I'd agree with you, Music Sock is probably up there.
I'd say Music Sock were probably the best at collaborating last year.
Yeah,
they did the Valentine's Day, they did the Christmas, they did the they did a couple, I can't remember all, but they did a lot of collaborations. They did a lot of concerts, they did a lot of performances at events, so they're probably the best society actually collaborating with people. They were so good.
Yeah. No, they did obviously a lot of work, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they have this year. I'd say my 3 Music Sock is staying in there.
They're very consistent as well.
They're very consistent. I really like them. obviously business. But I don't want to say business sock because they are phenomenal. But I want to Afro sock.
Yeah, they're always.
Really enjoyed.
They
Afro
might be
sock.
the most like raw fun.
Yeah, they're like just a natural like bunch of people coming together, friends. Sometimes there's no structure to it; it's very ad hoc, but it's always a good time. And the ideas that they have are actually really good. It kind of reminds me of like you're on a YouTube set. Like I feel like sometimes you're like with the Sidemen or you're at like Beta Squad or something. You're kind of just sitting in. It's like the premise of what you're trying to do is quite funny, but as you said, it's so raw. Like it's just so much fun. And then I'd say the third one, so I said music sock, I said Afro sock, sports. Do you know what? I'm going to give a shout out to. I'm going to give a shout out to the cricket team. The cricket team are always
Sorry,
really,
the
really
cricket
good.
team might have the best talent in the school.
Like we actually, I'd say we do.
I recruited someone for the cricket team the other day
Good job.
at the networking night. He said he plays in India, and I was like, okay, well, you may join DBS because we're quite good. And he was like, do we have one? I was like, yeah.
The cricket lads have national recognition. Like
Literally.
some of them are on the national team, some of
One
them
of
play
the-
for Leinster. There's people getting paid and stuff from our college for cricket.
Junaid, who was our cricket captain last year, he also won, I think with you, he shared an award.
Yeah, we
sports-
won athlete of the year, the two of us.
Sports Athlete of the Year. Junaid actually got trials and was invited over to compete in a competition at Cambridge for cricket during the summer, which is just phenomenal. We have some of the guys, Ashel and some of those lads that play like with Union, Railway Union, and they also were playing like for the Munster like county, and they were getting trials for like Ireland and stuff. Like it's crazy the talent that we have here. But I'd say they're my top three. But look, all you guys will be able to see what's interesting for you, what kind of like jumps out at you and you want to join and kind of meet people with those similar interests, all of next Tuesday and Wednesday in the common room 11 to 3. And if you can't make it, hopefully you can, because we're putting on 8 hours across the week for you. If you can't, you can always go onto the Instagram and you can go onto our link tree and you can see the links to a clubs and societies sign up form for the 2023-2024 academic year, and you can sign up there and leaders will add you to the WhatsApp groups, they'll be in touch with you and stuff like that. So even if you do miss the fair, hopefully you don't, but if you do, there's still a way for you to sign up, so don't be worrying if you're panicking about missing class.
There's also QR codes everywhere for it. They're in the lifts and everything, so you will see them.
Brilliant. Moving on to our probably last topic that we're going to discuss. Obviously, we've talked about clubs and societies. We've talked about really cool events to look forward to. What's been happening. Obviously, for you guys, it's orientation week right now. But there's going to be maybe some of you that have been waiting for Freshers Week to go to your first events, and it's probably something that's topical. Would be some do's and don'ts. Not necessarily just with DBS, but while you're here in Dublin, obviously, if you're maybe domestic students coming through the CAO, it might be your first time going out in town. You're getting 18, 19, 20. It's your first time out in town. International students especially, it could be your first time in Ireland or first time away from home, so obviously we want to kind of put you in the right kind of frame of mind of what to do and what not to do. One of the first things that I might talk, I'm going to go in reverse order here, I think would be clubs and pubs, what not to bring or wear. Something that I'll just talk about before we started this, me and Abbie are actually outside, I think it was you, and the guy came up to me about ID. He came up asking for ID. Obviously, IDs and venues, especially with all the events that we have external venues. You don't need ID for our events. We're not going to ID you've bought a ticket, your students, and we're not going to really be too strict on stuff. Obviously, you have to be of legal drinking age. That's fine. But when it comes to clubs and external venues, they have the right to admission. Okay, they have the right to refuse entry if they believe you haven't provided sufficient ID, or they feel that you're too young, or whatever the case may be. If you've had too much to drink, that all falls with them. Okay, so something that I would say to make sure you do bring is ID to any event with us, and that's even if you're going out, maybe not with us, going around the town. Make sure you're bringing ID. In terms of probably, we're talking about monochrome party next week. Obviously wear one colour if you can, please do, because as Nathan said, we want to kind of have a theme to it so that everyone looks like they're together. Obviously that's fine for a themed event, but
I will say on the monochrome party, the entertainment we have lined up for it, it's almost like a drinking game, and if you're not wearing something, you will be called out. So you will be held accountable for your outfit.
would you say then, okay, obviously you don't want to put in the spot there for not wearing the colours, but if you're going out saying a general night, like you live in the city centre, like you're, well, like I'm not even in Dublin, what would you say you shouldn't be wearing or you shouldn't bring to a club or to a pub if you're going out.
Well, I'll give you some advice, especially if you're a student. Dublin is quite expensive, so there's no problem pre-drinking. We used to pre-drink here all the time.
Yeah.
In the common room, a few cans before you go out, save a bit of money, get a little bit tipsy maybe before you go out. Not a bad idea. Do not then bring that to the venue because they will headlock you and throw you out the door and you're not getting back in. So, yes, pre-drink in college or at home. Do not bring those to the venue because you will get caught and they will throw you out and you're not getting back in.
Yeah.
So yes, pre-drinking is okay. Be careful with the venues. And they've started to kind of lock down on vapes now.
Yeah, massive thing. Obviously, vapes, even in here, we're not allowed vape in the college. Private venues, like tonight and like Bad Bob's, you're not allowed vape inside, okay? You can vape outside in the smoking areas or the smoking rooms that are basically indoors nowadays.
Honestly, smoking areas are the best places anyway.
That's what I'm saying, but like, just don't be vaping. If we catch vapes, we will murder you. No, I'm joking, but we will be very, very, very strict on that. Something I would probably say in terms of, even if it's not with us, different events, because not every event is going to have a theme for you to dress up in necessarily. Wear something not formal, kind of smart, like smart cash, I would say. I know I'm in a denim jacket tonight, denim jeans, like I'll get in. Don't try and pull up, especially for Dame Lane. It's kind of, as much as it's changed ownership, they're trying to go for a new look. Back in the day, during the week, you might have got in a tracksuit, you might not have. That is not the thing to be doing, okay? Don't be wearing tracksuit bottoms into pubs, into clubs. It's not going to work for you. You could be 40, you're not getting into a club with tracksuit bottoms on.
And also, I will say, if you're younger, yes, but in general, it's just a rule of thumb. If you are in the line to get admitted into a club, just behave. Because you can do whatever you want, you can mess around before, after, but when you're in the line to get into a club, if a bouncer sees you messing around or sees you jumping around, they just won't take you in, and especially if you look younger, they're definitely not taking you in.
Yeah.
If you just sit there, act calm, casual, walk up to a line, they'll be like, yeah, no problem, there won't be any hassle. But they do keep your eye on it when you're in the line, so just be careful how you behave while in the line.
Yeah. That kind of segues us into the next little bit I want to touch on is street smarts. Obviously you've touched on there, Nathan, kind of queuing into clubs and being around a venue. Like, don't be kind of jumping around, drinking cans or drinking bottles or being like rowdy. Abbie, obviously it's different, like we're given the kind of male perspective on how things operate. Is there something that maybe girls maybe get pulled up on in the streets, or if you're going through the town, or is there something that, you know, having street smarts, what not to do maybe in the evening time, during the days, or something you shouldn't be doing in the city? Like,
I generally just don't go anywhere by myself if it's like dark out. That's kind of a personal fear, but I feel like a lot of girls are kind of like that as well. There tends not to be too much actually happening. It's a lot of just like shouting, whistling at you, stuff like that. But that's gonna happen. When you're standing in a queue for a nightclub or whatever, just ignore.
Yeah.
Genuinely, that's the best thing to do.
Yeah, I know for me, I know I'm kind of oblivious to a lot of things, but I would always suggest don't have your phone out while you're walking, maybe late at night, or like if you're standing somewhere, like it's very easy to get your phone taken. Like Dublin, we're not trying to scare people. Dublin actually is a very safe capital. In terms of capital cities, it's up there with one of the safest. So you don't have to worry about anything like that. But just in terms of being street smart, especially people who are coming from international backgrounds or different countries and stuff like that. My famous line is, "Don't do stuff here that you're not going to do back at home." I mean, bit of common sense.
I might be the best person because I am from Dublin city centre. I am a local kid, I am a city kid, so I might be able to give you the two biggest problems we have in the city centre is phone theft and bike theft.
Yeah.
So if you are cycling to college, lock your bike and lock it in a place that isn't extremely obvious, and make sure you have a decent lock. If you have your phone, do not walk and wave it around the place, because people, I won't go into what they do, but people will just run by, whip your phone and run off.
Yeah.
That is something that's pretty common in the city centre. But Dublin isn't the worst capital in the world, it's not that bad. But those are, like, if there was something to happen, those would be the things to watch out for.
I mean, everywhere kind of has that, and obviously, thanks Nathan for that, being like a city kid here, obviously growing up in the heart of the city centre. Every European city or every country you go to, there's always a city that is known for something. Like Barcelona and stuff like that is pickpocketing. Like, you know, people coming up trying to scam you, take photos, they're actually distracting you to take stuff away from you. Other places might have different crimes, whatever. Ireland is safe, Dublin is safe, but just as we kind of said, use a bit of common sense. Don't be swinging your phone around, don't be leaving your bag unattended, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, look, you're going to have a great time here in Dublin. And
one more, sorry, before I go, one more thing I will say to you: if you're going home and you do end up getting a taxi, it's too late. Make sure you book a taxi so you know exactly what, and don't jump into a taxi. Not that they'll do anything, but they will take the long route. They will try and mess around with you and make you spend a little bit more money than you have to. Book it through Uber, book it through Bolt, book it through Free Now. That way they can't really lie to you and say they've gone a long way. You have a map of the route and you know where you're going.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously, you might take taxis to certain places, and some places we're going to recommend not to go is the kind of final thing I want to do on Dublin don'ts. Obviously, you guys, especially maybe who are coming from somewhere else in Europe, you could be coming from India, you could be coming from Brazil, somewhere like really, really far away. You've probably gone on TripAdvisor and have like a little Dublin or Irish kind of tick off list, whatever. We've created a kind of DBS passport competition. I also spent a lot of time this summer making a student experience guide to Dublin for suggestions on coffee spots, pubs, clubs, Irish traditional music, all stuff, museums, you name it, it's there. But there is stuff that is on TripAdvisor, or maybe typical things that people say, oh, you have to do this when you're in Dublin. One thing I am going to say not to do is regularly go out in Temple Bar.
Yep.
That's my one. Like,
Go out there, like your first night, your first weekend or something, experience it, get out of it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of places though.
Bad Bob's is the exception.
Bad Bob's is decent. It's on the tip of on the left side. There's also a comedy club across from that. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, all through like the main part of Temple Bar, there's
like the Temple Bar pub, the big red one where everyone takes the photos you probably see on postcards and stuff like that. Oh my god, that is the most expensive place you're ever going to go. They actually put up their prices significantly as well when it goes after midnight, which is crazy. Like crazy to think. Like a pint in there is genuinely a tenner, like €10 for a pint.
yeah, it's messing. It really is. Like I said, experience Temple Bar, get out of it. You can go back to Bad Bob's, you can go back to the comedy club across, but they're not bad. And that's not me trying to sell you something, that's me as someone who goes out in city centre regularly. I'm telling you, rule of thumb, don't go to Temple Bar except maybe your first night if you're coming here to experience it, and then only if you're going there, go to Bad Bob's or the comedy club.
I'm trying to think of somewhere else. Abbie, where do you see people saying, maybe on Google or TripAdvisor or somewhere, that they say, oh, you have to go here, and you're like, no?
I mean, on our induction slides, the Spire was up there. Don't bother going to see the Spire. It's not worth saying.
Yeah, it's a big needle, really.
It's a big needle. It's not really.
Yeah, it's pretty useless. Like, it's the only thing it's probably useful for if you're new is that, oh, that's the centre.
That's O'Connell Street.
That's O'Connell Street. Like, it's like a...
It's a good marking point if you're trying to meet somebody.
Yeah, that's probably its only use.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, meet at the Spire, where's that? Just look at the big pointy needle in the sky and I'm there.
The big red flashing light in the sky.
Just look there and I'm there. Other than that...
Useless. Pointless. Haha. I had to. It was brown. I had to.
Oh god, it's not somewhere you push your eyes. It's not somewhere you're gonna go for like take a photo or like it's nothing beautiful to look at. Like it's literally a needle in the sky. Like it's pretty pointless.
The GPO was better to look at. Go and see the GPO.
is good. Yeah,
go and see the GPO.
I'm trying to think one more thing that the controversial Book of Kells.
Oh, I love the Book of Kells. No, I love the Book of Kells.
I went there, right?
Some of the queues for it though.
Yeah, but it's worth it. It's so worth it.
With a Trinity student who got me a discount. But no, you do pay a decent fee to get in there. To be fair.
Like I've been there a couple of times. But
like
me too.
it's literally one walk up and one walk down. Like it's literally about a 3-minute thing, like, and then you're out.
This is what I mean. Like I've seen it in the summertime where it's busy and people are queuing for hours, and you're like, for me, it's not worth that.
No, I would queue for hours for the book. I quite like the Book of Kells.
It is the Harry Potter library.
Yeah, this is it.
I
suppose.
But even
it is interesting to look at, but just make sure you're going when it's not busy.
But even just the Book of Kells, even just the book, I would queue to see just the book. I quite like the Book of Kells. If you actually read about it and stuff like that,
I don't remember seeing the Book of Kells. When
I was I studied it in art and stuff, so it was like wanted to see it.
I don't remember seeing it. I was looking at like Oscar Wilde and Shakespeare's books and all. And I don't remember seeing the Book of Kells.
Yeah. So they're probably some of the don'ts. Obviously there's so much you can do. Take a look at the passport competition, something for you guys to get engaged with us. Also look at the student experience guide for your day-to-day kind of activities, excursions, stuff like that. To close off on this week's podcast is something that we're going to always do. We're going to do a little quick-fire question, which is basically we're going to do some quick-fire questions and it's automatically generated randomly. So none of us are seeing these questions. We don't get to actually prepare for this, which is probably best, because otherwise we would probably have some predetermined answers. If the link would work, that would actually be great. If not, I'll pull it up on my phone. But
I will say as well, because you guys are new here, go find your course coordinates, go find your lectures, go find all that information, because I don't work here, and it can be very tiring when you see me and you ask me questions about your course coordinator and we don't know the answers to these questions. You need to go to the second floor or to the fourth floor and they will answer every question you need.
Okay, I have it now working. But Nathan, that's actually very good advice. And now is the time. I know it's very busy looking for people, but you want to kind of establish what to do, where to go now, rather than when you're just about to submit a CA. Okay, random question. What part of your body currently doesn't feel 100%? All of me.
My kidneys.
Oh.
Yeah, Abbie's been sick. But my left leg, if you look at it, it's literally bruised and bummed.
That's more than your finger.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I actually have a dislocated finger right now.
So I want to hear absolutely no more complaints from Nathan about his finger, because he forgot that it was dislocated there for a second. I want to hear no more complaints.
Yeah, no, like obviously there's no visual with this podcast, but like it's
like a balloon.
clunky.
It's like a balloon.
It is a balloon. It's actually like a balloon inside his finger.
And it's kind of off coloured as well. That's a bit weird.
Yeah,
you should probably go to the doctor.
It's like it's out of date or something.
Yeah, it's just
New finger.
New finger.
But my leg actually hurts more. It's just bruised a little bit. It's kind of sore. I got a few bad tackles the weekend.
Probably deserves. Probably karma coming back.
Yeah, it's definitely.
For me, I'm just dying in general.
Yeah, I'm kind of just dying out at this point as well.
I'm smoking like 40 a day,
you do.
and like I'm bunged up. I
feel like there's like a little bit of a flu or cold going around right now.
Yeah, I was standing in the rain planting trees for like 8 hours on Friday, and standing at the Cliffs of Moher in the freezing cold in the rain. So that probably did it for me. Am I travelling with like 40 people on the bus who also travelled with illnesses beforehand? Probably not ideal for me, but it is what it is, I guess. We'll do 2 more questions. What would be the best thing about losing your hearing? Don't have to listen to you moaning, Abbie.
I knew you were going to say something like that.
Honestly,
it's crazy. I knew you were going to say that.
I'd say like alarms and buses and like stuff that just really annoys me.
Oh, car brakes.
Like a car alarms.
Someone you said that earlier in the office.
Someone needed to fix their car brakes. It was really annoying me. Do you know something like really high pitched, like when someone they need to go and get their car fixed.
And you know, like when an ambulance goes past your house or something, you're like, oh, I'm gonna snap.
Earlier when we were recording here, I was like, oh, the guards are screaming at me here. Like, I wish I couldn't hear that because no one would know. Yeah.
Stuff like that, I'd love to get rid of that type of stuff.
Like obnoxious sounds.
Yeah, I'd never be happy to lose my hearing, but I'd be happy to lose that part of it.
The terrible music in the common room that I'll play. Oh god.
You literally turned off bad energy to put on Taylor Swift.
I did. I put on Taylor Swift. I did.
Honestly,
you're so correct.
It's like Abbie's opinions are only valid 20% of the time.
Do you know what? If you could lose that, I'm going to truck with it. If you could lose your hearing or sight, what would you lose?
Hearing immediately. Hearing immediately.
Yeah, hearing.
That's not even a question.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, do you know what? You're probably down. We'll do one more. That's random generous. Do you have any unusual fears?
Unusual
fears. So like, I'm not taking like I'm not. What do you think? I'm not accepting like I'm afraid of spiders. Like who? Like it's such a generic one. Or like I'm afraid of heights. Is there like an unusual fear? Like something more like small. Or
like I'm not afraid of heights niche. Per se, but I do get a fear of falling.
A fear of falling. So you're afraid to fall.
Not like small. I am afraid to fall from heights, but I'm not afraid when I'm actually up high. It's just the actual fear of falling scares me.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're
saying. Which that would make sense if you were afraid of heights. Yeah. But I think it's unusual because I'm not afraid of heights, but I am afraid of falling.
Okay, I gotcha. So you're not like if you're up with like those treetop adventure.
I could stand over the edge of anything.
Yeah.
But like the actual thought of just falling in the air, like that sensation of like your heart, like
your stomach,
that scares
you know when you're asleep and you feel yourself falling asleep in your sleep, and you wake up.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah.
I think people know what I'm talking. Do you know what I'm talking?
I get that all the time.
I don't really get it that often though. I feel like boys get it more than girls. Boys twitch in their sleep.
Twitch, but like,
no, boys twitch in their sleep.
I get actually like sometimes I'll play a game, I'll get a smack in the game. And I'll go home, I'll go home and I'll feel it. And I'll be like, and I'll be like, oh, it's just a dream.
Do you know like, do you ever get that like, when you're like in the bathroom and your body kind of like shivers? Do you ever get that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Abbie's shaking her head here.
I don't know what you're talking
I think it's another thing boys experience.
Yeah.
Abbie, unusual fears?
I don't know my normal fears, to be honest. I don't know what I'm afraid of. But like, do you ever see like when someone like breaks their leg or something? It's like. Like that gives me. Oh, do you know what it is? You know, like sponges, like a normal sponge, dry. Don't even bring that near me. I will get sick all over you. Don't even bring it near me.
When I was young, I used to eat sponges.
See this?
What? Because the texture was funny.
No, stop it.
So like even this microphone. No, I'm not even joking.
I was just about to say.
I
was just about to say the microphone. I can't
touch it.
I can't. No, I can't. I can't really look at it either. And the fact that it's so close to my hand is actually freaking me out so bad.
We're gonna have to give Abbie one of those.
I can't do it.
I'll be one of those naked head. We're gonna have to take the.
I hate it. I can't
sponge
do
thing
it.
off.
I can't
That's
do
so
it.
strange.
And you two both hold them so close to your faces, and
Some
I
people can hear
like
us.
yeah, I know, but look how far away it is from mine.
Yeah,
Like
no, and people won't be able to
I
hear
just
you.
can't. Actually, on Paddy's video, it said you have to keep it like a hand space apart from your mouth. Just saying, I watched Paddy's video on full.
That's if you speak
Love you,
at a
Paddy.
normal volume. You speak like this.
No, I
half
don't speak like that. Oh.
Our settings are on 6, yours are on 9.
the time. Yeah, crazy. My unusual fear. Do you know what? Is it a fear or is it like a? How did like food on plates?
What?
Like as in dirty plates. So like, do you know like?
I
even
know
in
what you're
my
talking
house, even in my house, if like say my mum or someone leaves like a dirty plate and it's gonna go in the sink and she's gonna, the thought of like someone like crusty food on a plate. Oh my god, no! Like,
My
actually,
cousin's like that.
no, I actually can't. Like I will eat my dinner. I will go straight to the sink. I don't mind my food because I know it's me. But if my mum was like, "Oh, will you just wash that for me?" I'm like, absolutely not.
Try again.
Like no. Like I'll like hold it like minusculely like to drop it in the dishwasher or something. But like when I see it, actually I get freaked. Or like when oh my god, I'm shivering. Do you know when forks like interlock with each other?
Yeah.
Like metal forks. It actually freaks
I
me
thought you
out.
were going to say like a knife or a fork like scraping off a plate, because that noise is
Nah, that's
disgusting.
alright. Like, that's
That noise is
But, like,
disgusting.
oh no, that's actually hard with forks. Or someone puts their knife in their fork. You start looking at me with 2 heads. Do you know like
You're just weird.
no, it's just the
Yeah, I don't know, weird.
sensation of like I don't know how to describe
Mine
it.
has a fear of
So,
cutlery.
Yeah,
So like
kind
you
of.
know when like a butcher or something is like scraping knives off each other.
No, that's fine.
Does
Like, I'll
that like
sharpen
freak
a
you
knife.
out?
No. But like specifically, like spoons are fine, but specifically a fork, like a fork in fork.
So you just don't like forks then? Your unusual fear is forks.
Yeah.
I think we've come to that
Interlocking
conclusion.
forks with
Just
things.
forks in general.
Yeah, forks. I'm afraid.
Ryan's
forks.
afraid of forks. I'm gonna make a poster for that. Ryan's afraid of forks.
That's fine.
Fork
That's
off.
my unusual fear.
Oh, yeah, actually, you know, you know when someone hurts themselves, especially in your knee area, they get second-hand like pain. I'm
Like a dislocated knee or something. No, I agree. I agree.
No, genuinely, dislocated knee, and I'll start crying.
Or
But
the fella
even if
gets
you-
hit in the.
But even if
No,
you think
no,
about
I-
it,
No, if I see someone dislocated knee, I honestly can't look at them. I have
Remember
to, I have to leave the room.
Harvey Elliott's injury against Leeds on his leg? Like,
But that, I'm actually alright with that.
I get.
I
get.
actually, I
is
don't
it
mi-
specifically the knee that you
I
have
don't mind
empathy
I
for?
actually
Yeah,
don't, I
no.
don't mind a broken bone. I've had broken bones. It's when something dislocates. Like my finger's not that bad, but like when something big
Or a
dislocates.
shoulder.
I get
Oh,
partial. I used to
can't.
get partial dislocation of my knee when I did dancing.
Oh,
Like it
even
used to
the
just
call
like
outs
it
make
used to just
me-
like pop out and pop back in,
Oh,
and the pain of it is so bad. But it's that pain that like goes through your entire body, like head to toe. And when I think about it, if I remember it happening, there's my Roman Empire. I think about my knee dislocating all the time.
Honestly,
But it gives me the shivers and it makes me feel
I'm actually
ill.
like shaking up. I'm actually like rocking back and forth, feeling my knee.
My Roman Empire.
Your knee's not going to dislocate
Oh,
sitting
no,
there.
I just, I
pal.
don't know, because I've had pain. You know you've had pain in your knee, and you're like, you know that feeling is,
Yeah.
and you can just remember it so vividly.
That's the thing with the dislocation. Like
I've hurt my knee a few times.
Yeah. So we've established a few things in here.
Ryan's afraid of forks.
I'm afraid of forks.
Nate's afraid of knees. I'm
Nate's
afraid of
knees.
sponges.
You're afraid of sponges.
Nice.
You think about a song a certain amount of times. That's your Roman Empire. What was the
Was
song?
it the song? Was it
Pitch
a song?
Perfect.
Pitch
Pitch. Oh my
Perfect,
god,
yeah.
yes.
You think about Pitch Perfect all the
Yes,
time?
yes, yes.
I
yes,
probably
yes.
think about forks all the time too.
You probably do.
Or even like a knee touching a knee. I don't like that.
What?
Like,
Like
if
your
you-
own knees?
Not even the
Oh
outside.
yeah, when the
like,
footballers like tackle their knees bang off each other.
not even the outside knees. That's alright. But the inside of the knees touching the inside of the knees, no,
What?
that can't happen.
I don't understand.
No, you don't. There's no bang inside your knee.
Right, before we bore people with our forks, knees, and whatever
Sponges.
else problems are wrong with us, we will wrap up today's episode. So I want to say thank you to Abbie for jumping on, and for Nathan, our VP, and obviously we want to see you all guys, see you all at our events this week, next week, and going forward. So hopefully you guys can sign up for Bundoran, the Monochrome Party, come to Clubs and Societies Fair. If not, if you can't go to any of that, at least drop in for some free tea, coffee and biscuits next week.
And pizza's free all week next week.
And pizza, Domino's.
I
I'm
left
actually kind of,
laughed that one last week because people, if you stay till the end, you deserve to know when the pizza's coming.
yeah.
And the bear cake and the ice cream.
Yeah.
And the bird cake and the ice cream.
Right, okie dokie. We're going to run because we actually have to kind of set up for our event that's happening tonight. So enjoy your weekend, or enjoy your week, should I say, because this will be out on Monday. Enjoy your week and come by and say hi to us.
Yep. Peace.